without further ado, please help me welcome Shirley Chow from My Think Tank.
Thank you so much. I love Barb. I love Known. I think that this is just such a fantastic resource for New Haven, the entrepreneur community, and especially minority entrepreneurs, because we are at a disadvantage in the resources, the knowledge. A lot of people have lack of access to resources. But I'm finding that with minority entrepreneurs, it's the lack of access to knowledge that is an even larger barrier. And that is really what Known has done. And this is my 5th event at Known. And I was here back in October. 6 months ago. I might have met some of you guys here at that event 6 months ago. Can't remember what that topic was, but at that time, I did not even have 1,000 followers on Instagram. It just shows you how fast social media can be. You don't know what is going to go viral. You don't know how fast it can grow. So that's one of the things that I really wanted to talk about is what happens when something does pick up, and how do you get ready for that, and why some things might go viral and not. Because before I got popular on Instagram, there was actually TikTok that started my growth. And I was one of those people who thought, TikTok, that's the thing for kids. I'm too old for TikTok. I had no concept of what it was about, and I stayed away from it. I didn't actually go on TikTok until October. This was also, 6 months ago, was when I created a TikTok account. And the reason was because I do have a YouTube channel that I make content for, that I've been growing. And on YouTube, I follow Gary Vee. Do you guys know Gary Vee? Gary Vee was an early investor in social media, and he is he really helps business owners try to understand how to use social media and how to grow your business and to think creatively. And the thing that got me to finally go on TikTok was a conversation that he had with somebody. Well, he does these talks, and they're filmed, and he uses that for his content. And what he said really hit me hard, because he will yell at you and curse at you until you really get it through your brain that you really need to try. And his message was, every business owner who is not on TikTok, you're like the person from 10 years ago who wouldn't go on Facebook. And that really made me think that, okay, let me try. What's the harm in trying? So that's where I first started making short form video. I was making long form video, and that is really hard. It takes a lot of time. A long form video takes so much time. It takes so much editing, and so I decided to try some short form video, and I didn't know what I was doing. I actually was just repurposing my content. I took my existing content and I repurposed it in some vertical format. I recorded something that I was just, here, record me, and then we recorded something. The third video that I made on TikTok went viral. And so that kind of picked it up. It was 100,000 views, my third video, and then from there.
That's such a dream come true.
And it was just kind of random. TikTok, the viewers like to be surprised. So what really, and this is just short form video anywhere, is people really like to be surprised by something. It could be anything. And it was me actually taking a workshop that I did. I did a sword workshop. And in that sword workshop, I was talking about how Chinese martial arts, the movements, origin, were actually intended for horses. So I was showing, and this was straight out of a workshop. So I gave an online workshop that people paid me money for. And then I had content that then I can repurpose into a video that people can purchase. And then I also put that on my YouTube as YouTube content. And then I just took that and repurposed it into some shorts. And it just started off with me holding a sword and saying,
"It is a weapon."
And I guess what really I didn't realize this, but what made this video so interesting was the angle of me holding the sword was at an angle where it looked like a dagger. And then when I moved, it then unfurled into a long sword. So just that little bit of that surprise factor, like, whoa, like, what was that? And then coupled with, me talking about, the weapon, martial aspect of taichi sword, that made it go viral. And all of a sudden, I started getting reach, and that's how it started growing. And then there were a couple of videos that really picked up, and then one video became really viral. And it's just that one video that really caused this explosion of growth. And the interesting thing is, the video, so I have 2 1 million view videos now, one on TikTok and one on Instagram. They're not the same video. The video that got 1 million views on TikTok, I have an Instagram version of it, and it didn't really do that well. The video that has 1 million views on Instagram didn't do that well on TikTok. Different audiences. So, and what I do is I try to make it as easy for me as possible so I actually repurpose a lot of my content.
That's one of my favorite strategies for building business. It's like, why double your efforts? Just take something and use it in multiple ways.
Yeah.
And it saves money, it saves time.
Yeah.
And you are not bothering people.
No,
can see the same
because
thing
you have
over and over
different
again.
audiences there. The people who are watching TikTok are not really the same that are watching Instagram, or how they consume the video in the different platforms are also different. So don't feel like you're bothering. And if you look at the major content creators, they're all repurposing. It's the same thing everywhere, and that's okay. You can have a slight different take, but it's not really the same. So this is where I feel like with video and content, because it's not so familiar, people think that it's this whole new thing that you need to learn, and it's scary, and you don't know how to do it. And what I found is there's so much similarity in making content as like cooking food. And when they say you consume media and you consume content, there's a reason why they say that, because it is so similar to cooking. If you are making something and you make a little variation of it, it's not the same thing, actually, right? If you change the spices around a little bit, you actually have something different. So those are the things that are really successful on TikTok and on Instagram is you take the base of something and then you look to see what works on TikTok because you have a different audience. My TikTok audience is a lot younger. My Instagram audience is a lot more women. My YouTube audience is mostly older men. You know, so they have different profiles of what they want to consume, right? So if you're making something, then if you're making something for somebody who might have a dairy allergy, right? You'll do a little variation of it. If you're like somebody who doesn't like sugar, you'll tune back the sugar. All of those things you can add on top of the video. The platforms want you to use their features. So one of the things that I see people do that really hurts their performance is taking a horizontal video and just posting it in Instagram as a reel or on TikTok. And that really hurts the performance because what it tells the audience is you don't really know that platform. That you're not really interested in giving the viewer the experience that they're looking for. And all it takes is taking your existing video and just expanding it so that it fits a vertical format. And then that simple little thing just shows that you care, that you spent some time on the platform and you care about that viewing experience for the person watching. If you take your Instagram and or take your TikTok with that watermark and then post it on Instagram, Instagram doesn't like that. They don't want you to take a video that you made on another platform and put it on their platform, right? So these are all little things that just shows that you actually use the platform and you care. And I think that's where I want to go next in my suggestion is you need to like what you make. And you need to like to be where you're making the thing. So think of yourself as a creator and think of yourself as someone who's creating with other creators. TikTok is not what you think it is. So that's the first thing is spend some time there. Do you know what is one of my favorite TikTok channels, like in my top 3 favorites, AARP. Go to the AARP TikTok channel.
So for those who don't know, American Association of Retired Persons.
The old people
Discount.
channel.
That's your favorite.
They have this because I am 48. I turned 49 this year. AARP is for people 50 and over. So I'm their target audience. Gen X is what they're going after right now. They have Gen X ASMR, where they just take these things from the 80s and like those magnetic things that you drop and you shake. Dial, like the
telephones, rotary phones.
Yes. ASMR.
Yes.
It's not just the young kids dancing, and businesses are made through short form video. So this is what happened when I started making short form video. First, you need to leave them somewhere. And so you have one link in your bio. You need to provide information Because their interaction with you can't just end with that video. Once they're interested in you, they're gonna go to the bio and that link. So many of us use Linktree, where it's basically a place where you can have mini links. And it's your call to action. What do you want them to know about you? Where do you want them to go? And so for me, I offer free access to my online instructional videos for the first 5 days of every month. And if you want to continue to view those, then it's a subscription. But I make those free the first 5 days of every month. It's actually gone on, they've been viewed in all 6 continents except Antarctica. And people will go and view because they're interested. So that's the first place I want them to go. And then I take them to links if you want to subscribe to my Patreon, you want to go to my YouTube. And they go and, so from that, my YouTube subscribers doubled. Because my TikTok and my Instagram followers increased. YouTube is where people still go for their in-depth learning. So you get a taste. It's an appetizer. Instagram, TikTok, it's an appetizer. You give them a little taste, a little sample. And then if they're interested, then you go to the entree. And YouTube is where they do their deep learning. I'm not teaching you on TikTok and Instagram. I do provide educational content, but what I'm actually doing on TikTok and Instagram is I'm sharing how I teach. I'm letting you know more about me and what I do and what you might not know about what I do. But if you're really going to learn something, you're still going to go on YouTube. They want to connect with you. So once they get to know you, you have to first open yourselves up to them. Right? So the title of this is Authentic Storytelling. So I cannot end this fireside chat without the reason why this is important to me is because this is the thing that everybody can do. Now, a piece of content is so fast that it's really opened the gates and lowered the bar for anybody who wants to make content to be able to do it. Like back before, Instagram rewarded the really beautiful production, photos, the things that took a long time to stage. That was a big barrier. You needed money to make a really nice Instagram post. You needed information. Now, it's too fast. Daily content. People want to know what you're doing. They want to know who you are. They get to know you. And they want to know what you're up to. And the production quality doesn't matter. Right? So if we go back to the cooking analogy, think of your short form video as your daily family dinner. Right? You just got to get it cooked quick. You got to put it on the table, and it doesn't have to be anything fancy. And actually, you don't have time to make it fancy because you have to eat at a certain time, and that's it. And no one cares if it's not the most well-made, best-looking thing. They just want to eat. And if you don't give them something to eat, they're still going to eat. They're just going to eat out, right? So that's the thing with your production, with your videos, is just make it. Don't try to make it perfect because it doesn't matter. And as you make more, you get better at it. So that's the thing is, like, people get so caught up in trying to put out the perfect content that it winds up making them not put out any content. So there's that saying, don't let perfect be the enemy of good. In my house, I say, don't let the good be the enemy of done. Just get it done.
Woo!
It will get better. And this is, everybody can do this. Minority business owners, entrepreneurs, even if you don't have a business and you're just trying to get your story out, your brand out, now is your chance to actually open yourself up, because that's where we are now.
Yep.
Things move too fast for you to be inauthentic. So it favors people who are willing to just be who they are. And that means you don't find your authenticity. You definitely don't curate your authenticity. You don't build your authenticity. You're born as your authentic self.
It's so true.
And what we do is we actually cover that up with all of these layers to hide our authentic self.
Amen.
And so it's about stripping all of these layers out, because when content is fast, when you scroll, TikTok is just scroll. It's like a second, 2 seconds, right? They're not even hearing what you're saying. They're just getting a sense of who you are. And if you are comfortable with who you are, that comes across, and that's the sense, and that's what they want to see. So your business, your brand, it's not about what you do, it's about who you are. So that is the thing that is, I think, the most exciting part about making short-form video today, is that it actually rewards people who are willing to not be afraid to show who you are, because that's the thing that's going to then make people interested in what you do. There is no barrier anymore, and a lot of it is just tapping into your own emotion. Like, so what content? Like, so now, like, a lot of people think I have no content. I don't know what to put out there, and that's not true. Everybody has content. For me, when I actually started live streaming on Twitch because I need interaction. I need to feel the energy of people. And even though Twitch I don't see, but the conversation, they chat. Right? So I feel like I am talking, even though the camera's there. I tried to record a video for YouTube, I had to turn on the camera, and it was so uncomfortable. I couldn't do it. Like, it was terrible. I couldn't talk to the camera with no one there. But on Twitch, I was able to talk to the camera. There was interaction, and I felt like it was something that was more like an in-person kind of experience. I need to feed the energy of other people. Well, it's content. So I realized immediately that every time I came on camera and started talking, that's content. So I now have just hours and hours of content that I can repurpose. For our business owners, if you have Zoom, how many people do Zoom consultations, Zoom meetings? How many of you record that? That's your content. So every time you have a client interaction where you're trying, did you convince somebody of something? Did you share a really great thought in that conversation? It was a real conversation. Well, if you record that, now you have content. You don't have to include the other person, just include you talking about it. That's genuine. It's not you talking to a camera, it's you talking to someone. Now that's your content, and it captures a genuine emotion and genuine conversation. It's that feeling, that letting that viewer feel something that hits them emotionally is what they want. not about the information.
You are amazing.
It is amazing, and I know that we have to wrap up really soon, this really needs to be the take home phone. So, while we're doing the recording, I want to ask you about Tai Chi, because not everybody knows what Tai Chi is. So at minimum,
It's all about energy. Tai Chi is all about energy.
Tai Chi has to talk about that.
So, really quick, brief intro into my entrepreneur story. I am actually a numbers person. I have an economics major, and my career was in finance, and I did that, and I thought that I was going to be set in early retirement, getting this fat pension with all of Yale's benefits, and then I was studying Tai Chi because I loved it, and it was something that I pursued as a martial art under one of the greatest masters to exist, who happened to be in Connecticut. I was going to take over that school after she retired. When I turned 55 in early retirement, that was the plan. She decided to move to Austin because her daughter moved there, had grandkids. Where the grandkids are, the grandparents follow. So then I had to make a decision. What do I do about the school? The school that she was either going to pass down to those of us who had been there from the beginning with her, or sell it to someone who had no involvement with what we built here. So I decided, you know what, Tai Chi, I felt, was the secret scroll for how I was able to navigate my career, my conflicts. It was how, when all of my peers that was advancing in leadership positions were just really feeling that struggle of going uphill, getting beat down, I was able to navigate some success, keeping my energy intact and being able to advance and keep healthy while I was at it, and pursue just this really, really deep martial art.
Yeah, because you look 26. So what is Tai Chi?
Well, so Tai Chi is an internal martial art that it hinges on being able to relax. So it's like thinking of how water moves. Water, it flows and is more powerful when you're soft. So that is basically what Tai Chi is. It helps you to move in a fluid way so that you can connect your mind and your body as one, and that will allow you to manage your stress in a way that I haven't found anything else be able to. So that's why when I was on a Twitch stream with my viewers, and we all really like Avatar, the Last Airbender, and they had the elemental bending, we were chatting. I was like, you know what? Like, people don't know what Tai Chi is. Like, that term itself, you have to explain. What is it? You're like, you know what it is? It's stress bending. That's what we're doing. I'm the stress bender.
Yeah.
So, my personal brand is I'm the stress bender.
Thank you so much, everybody, for joining us.